Hi, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm Laura Hopkins, and it is March of 2026, and we are talking tonight about the liver. This is part of the Ultimate Balance book study. The Ultimate Balance book by Dr. Leanne Deardorff is our topic for the year. We're going through this book in seasons because when it comes to ultimately balancing your body, we want to have a balanced body that is throughout the seasons, that it has time to recuperate, to rest, to recharge, to rejuvenate. And the liver is one that we talk about a lot, that Young Living has put great emphasis on in many of its products because it's so important for overall health of your body, because it helps with the metabolism, helps with metabolism, but it also helps metabolize all hormones. It works with sugars and proteins and fats, and gives you, it helps to give you energy, but also produces bile. There's a lot of important jobs that the liver has. And so we're going to talk about it because we're almost about to hit spring. It's spring break here in Oklahoma, but officially spring will not start until the weekend. But still, let's start talking about taking care of the liver in the spring. We talked last time about the gallbladder, and the gallbladder is very important also. They work collectively. They actually are right next to each other. If you look at your page 30, if you're on following along in your book, here's where the liver is located. Just like the gallbladder, if you can kind of see the gallbladder peeking behind here, underneath the liver, but it's going to be on your right side under your rib cage. So a lot of times, whenever we are putting oils on, of course, we can apply oils topically. You want to I put oils on topically, but I'm going to show you also some other points where you can apply oils that is very effective. Your liver VitaFlex points are very effective as well. And then we're also going to talk about your meridians, your meridian and organ reflex points. So let's talk a little bit about what the liver is. And I'm also, of course, you guys know me, I like to talk about nutrition and holistic big picture. So we're going to talk a little bit about food as well tonight, in addition to what the book covers. So again, we found out where it's located. It's on the right side, under the rib cage. It's the size of a football approximately. So it's a pretty good size. It is the largest gland in the body. And a lot of people think of liver as an organ, but it also is a very important part of the endocrine system because of what it does with hormones. So you can see here the picture of it. There's what's considered the left lobe, and then the right lobe, and then there's a ligament in between it, that's actually attached to your sternum, I believe. Your abdominal wall, and then the gallbladder is there as well. And then what's fascinating, there's a cross-section picture of the liver here, and you look at the different veins that are running through there, the branch of the bile duct, the branch of the portal vein, the branch of the hepatic artery. These are all, it's carrying blood to the liver. So if you look at that, that's pretty complex, but that's just a cross section of what you would see. Very, very important to have healthy liver function. It is, like I said earlier, it produces bile. It can turn sugars and proteins into fats for energy and turn fats back into sugars. It stores glucose, which we know is blood sugar, vitamin D, vitamin A, B12, which those are you've got your, I see immune system there. I see energy. I see overall health, basic vitamins that we need to get from our foods, as well as iron and copper and fats. It metabolizes proteins, which for those of you who are keto, on keto diets, or eat more of a low carb, healthy or low carb diet, you're going to want to really care for your liver because it's working extra hard with all those proteins that you're consuming. It makes cholesterol and triglycerides. It also breaks down toxic substances, so a lot of pharmaceuticals, alcohol, and it metabolizes, or it breaks down and removes worn out blood cells and hormones. So it's flushing out. If you have had or have hormonal issues, that the liver health is a very important place to start. I have done liver cleanses in the past and liver flushes, and I can tell you from an energy perspective, from a metabolism perspective, it's a really great start. This is why I think spring is such an important time for us to really give love to our liver. And that's because all of the cooked things that we've had over the course of the winter, right? We're getting ready to go into fresh fruits and vegetables. It's right now, it's March, we're seeing strawberry. I know in Texas we would have strawberry farms starting to be open. You're going to start to see more fresh picked um, seasons for different fruits and vegetables. You're going to see farmers markets springing up. So now's the time of year where our bodies are going to start getting those enzymes and doing some cleaning out, preparing for the warmer months, right? The liver needs complex carbohydrates. So those of you who are eating more keto friendly, that those are the carbohydrates that you were probably already focusing on anyways. So we don't want processed things. We don't want a lot of foods that are going to be difficult for in the digestive system, but also for the liver to have to break down. So we want to think about fruits and vegetables right now when it comes to the liver, and that's why a lot of people, when you're focusing on the liver, a Daniel fast is something that a lot of people do. Celery juice is something that a lot of people do. I know there's an entire book. There's books just about what to eat when you're cleansing for the liver. So that's not what we're specifically talking about tonight is liver cleansing, but I also am going to talk about some supplements that can help you, even though you're doing maybe you're eating a regular diet or focusing on eating healthier foods. Eating your proteins in balance with those complex carbohydrates is really important for your liver health. You also want to make sure that you have essential fatty acids for hormone production, uh, trace minerals for enzyme function, and then a yearly cleanse during the spring and summer months can help keep the liver healthy and clear all the excess fats and toxins so it can function properly. If the liver is not functioning properly, metabolism will be negatively affected, and there can be major hormonal imbalances in the body. So, liver health is very important, you guys. So, what we've talked about the overall physical aspect. Now, let's talk more about the emotional and the attitude, your attitude, the way that the feelings that we have that affect the liver, because they are very real. So, as you see here, your solar plexus chakra is the chakra that's affected by the liver. The time of day is going to be between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. wherever you are. So maybe have you ever woken up in the middle of the night for just whatever reason, and it was that period of time? You might need to recognize your liver's doing something. Maybe your liver is needing some extra love. I've woken up before in the middle of the night with like a hot flash and recognized, okay, I need to do some liver help today. So that is something to keep in mind, that going to bed, getting a full night's sleep, getting rest, so your body is able to your nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system can get into rest and digest, and your body can start to heal those areas. As you see here, the meridian organ chart here, this starts, it actually starts with right around the location. It's located immediately under the ribs. The organ reflex point is immediately under the ribs on the right side, about 1.5 inches from where the ribs form a Y. The liver meridian begins on the second right toe, or the second right toe next to the big toe, and it heads up the inside of the leg. So as you can see it there, heading up the inside of the leg. So starting here on the second, look at your big toe on your right foot. Now you're going to move to the second, and then that's where it starts, and it moves up the leg on the inside to the right side of the body, and then ends up about 1 inch below the nipple, which is right around where your liver is located. So you can do oils that direction. You can use your VitaFlex points for sure. So we've talked about the chakra color is yellow and the musical note is E. So the negative emotions, anger, rage, justifying, chronic complaining, Those are all liver issues. Positive emotions will be forgiveness, love, accountability, gratitude. So the words you say are, I choose forgiveness. I let go of past hurts and angers. I choose health and wholeness. I'm accountable for my actions and choices. I'm grateful for the teachers in my life. I'm grateful for the lessons in my life, right? We all need to come at it with that. Your oil blend. So I mentioned earlier the word rejuvenate. And so when Gary Young created blends for the liver, they have to do with rejuvenation because the liver can rejuvenate. The liver can be healthy again. Sometimes you'll even see liver spots, like things showing up on your skin. That's considered to be a sign of aging, but it's also something that can be reversed and that you can take care of your liver and see it show up in your skin. Pretty cool, huh? So, Juva for rejuvenate, so rejuvenate your body, rejuvenate your health, rejuvenate your skin. So, Juva Cleanse and Juva Flex, as well as GLF. GLF is gallbladder liver function. That's what that stands for. And then look at the down below the product. So you have Juvatone. There's the other one. The other one, then that has been replaced by Livertone. Young Living no longer has the Juvatone, and the Livertone comes with. You can buy it in a the Livertone is a supplement. It has, and we know that the liver has more than 500 jobs. um, the ones that I read tonight were just a handful of them. And so that's why taking Livertone, you can specifically work focused with liver tone this time of year, but even just supporting your body throughout the year. If you've had some really fatty processed, around the holidays is a good time also to give extra love to your liver because you're probably eating things that you don't normally indulge in. But that would be a good time to support your liver as well. And I will tell you that whenever I make my liver drink in the morning, it is, or when I have a drink that I do that has mineral essence and sulfurzyme and Ningxia Red, but I also like to add the whole body cleanse powder with it. That can work kind of collectively with your liver tone, and that is it is a the flavor of it, I actually like the flavor of it. It has fiber in it as well, so it's going to be something that's going to help with moving things through your body. But the flavor is not bad to me compared to other things that I've had, but it's helpful with flushing. So as you're taking the whole body cleanse powder, you're using your Juvatone, that would be a good start. If you've never done a cleanse before, that'd be a really good start to use those together and to ramp it up in the spring, especially. I do muscle testing, and muscle testing allows me to see how many supplements that I would need for that day or that period of time. So sometimes, especially if I'm trying to focus on a, one of my organs, liver specifically, I will take my liver tone in the morning and I'll muscle test for it and I'll see how many I need. If that day I muscle test and I don't need one, then I leave it on the counter. And if I come back through in the middle of the day or that evening, I'll see it. And that reminds me to muscle test again. And I see if I need one or two then. So that's a good way to kind of keep yourself on track, is putting your supplements out where you're going to see them. But typically I do take them in the morning. I do muscle test for one, sometimes two of the liver tone in the morning. So let's go back up here to, I skipped over some of the oils, but let's talk a little bit more about those. So forgiveness, release, surrender, transformation, and hope are all oil blends that are fantastic that you can use in application on the feet, application on the chakra points, on the meridians, and then also on the neurovascular points. If you can see the top of the head there, the neurovascular points where you can apply the oils. I like to apply oils after showering just because I don't want my hair to be really greasy. And then the point on the feet, it's going to be on the right side, right in here. So this is where you're going to apply the oils for the liver. And again, it's the VitaFlex technique. So it's pad of your nail, your tip of your nail, and sorry, your pad of the finger, the tip of the finger, and then the nail of the finger. So pad, tip, nail, pad, tip, nail, or two together. Pad, tip, nail, pad, tip, nail. There you go. So that's how that works together. Single oils that are great are ledum. We know ledum is fantastic for the lymphatic system, as well as lemon and grapefruit is another great oil for the lymphatic system, helping to move and flush. And then coriander is also listed. There are some other products outside of that are listed outside of the Juvitone, which we now know as Livertone. And if you look at them, they all end with ZYME. So enzymes, dietary enzymes, are very effective for the liver. They're of course effective for the colon, but these are all products that Young Living, most of these are products that Young Living combined. So carbozyme, lipozyme, polyzyme are now all part of something called Essential Zyme 4. And so it was four different enzymes that we had before, the essential zyme, the carbozyme, the lipozyme, and the polyzyme, that were all in the essential zyme 4. And so that is also, we talked a little bit about it last week because the lipozyme, remember that's fats, lipids, so breaking down of fats. Polyzyme is going to be, that's going to be breaking down a lot of the fibers. Carbozyme, again, your carbohydrates materials. So essential zymes are going to break down proteins. So all of those all of those enzymes are going to be very effective, but they're all combined. Instead of being four different products, they're just one now. So people without a gallbladder, Essential Zyme 4 is your best friend. Well, very effective. And so we know when that goes out of stock, I have people howling at me because they try to make sure it never goes out of stock, that they always have it. And then Allerzyme is another one. Allerzyme is an enzyme. It is a slow release enzyme. So you take it before, so you take it in between meals, and it is a vegetarian. So there's no animal product in that one at all. That it would be the opposite of the what we call regular essential zymes. And then we have the Essential Zymes 4 that is taken with meals. So Essential Zyme 4 comes in a little blister packet. You take that one and you take Detox Zyme as the other vegetarian option. And you take those two with meals. And then if you have Essential Zymes, which is the tablet, or Allerzyme, you take those between meals. That's the difference because the Essential Zyme and Allerzyme are slow release, and the Essential Zyme 4 and Detox Zyme are the fast action. So they're taken with meals. They work with the digestive system. So there you go. Those are the different options. So how do you know if maybe you're having liver issues, that your liver needs to be cleansed? Here's some cues. Sensitivity to chemicals and odors, which, and we're not talking about just not being able to tolerate the detergent aisle at the grocery store. We're talking about like um, immediate headaches. We're talking about problems with um, um, chemicals that maybe you've been exposed to previously. That makes sense. So like you're really always having reactions. Um, Bitter taste in your mouth, especially after meals, hemorrhoids or varicose veins, consuming alcohol or recovering from alcohol abuse, a history of hepatitis, a history of drug abuse, long-term use of prescription meds or over-the-counter meds, pain under the right side of the rib cage, aspartame consumption. So aspartame is a sweetener, and it's usually in a lot of diet products or sugar-free products, but it is very, very, it's toxic. It was actually originally designed as an ant killer, and they found a way to make it for the human consumption. Nice, huh? But it can be very damaging to your nervous system, but again, also to your glands, your livers, because they're flushing it out. They're getting rid of toxins. If you have hormonal imbalances, the liver needs attention. If you have sugar imbalances, like high or low blood sugar, the liver needs attention. And then allergies. So it's a long list over here to the side, as you see. I would also add to the point of people who deal with rage and anger also need to have a liver cleanse. People who deal with are quick tempered, are quick to go fly off the handle, have very small fuse or short fuse. That is all, those are all opportunities because we know that liver stores anger and rage. And so we want to get to the other side of that. Your positive emotions being forgiveness, acceptance, love, accountability, and gratitude. So those are all the options there. I want to talk just a little bit about some specific. I love this book for you guys who have the book that Gary did, the Essential Oils Integrative Medical Guide. It's fantastic. Okay. So you can the fun thing about this book is that it was pretty early compared to some of the other desk reference versions, the original one. So he doesn't list some of the names of the blends that are in here, but you can see he will say, so if you may not have Juvaflex or Juvatone, or sorry, Juva Cleanse or Juvatone as an oil. But then you can look it up here and you can see what blends that he suggests that you can make just using this right here. So let me show you these. It talks about here's another list he gives. I thought this was interesting too, because we know jaundice, a lot of times babies are born with jaundice. That's when there's an abnormal, the skin's a little yellow, but that can also be a sign of liver disease. So people who are kind of have a yellowing of their skin. Nausea, lack of appetite, dark colored urine, yellowish or gray colored bowel movements, abdominal pain, swelling of the abdomen caused by accumulation of fluid, itching, dermatitis, or hives. If you have disturbed sleep, usually that's the buildup of unfiltered toxins in your blood. General fatigue and loss of energy, and then also loss of libido or your sex drive. The liver can build up the toxins in tissues and it can be very degenerative. So what he recommends are for detoxification of the liver, the single oils are mentioned here again. So you have ledum. It mentions lime, blue yarrow, celery seed, helichrysum. This is mandarin, but an orange could be a possible replacement. Cardamom, geranium, carrot seed, German chamomile, and Roman chamomile. And I'm going to look up the liver blend here. And there's additional, the blend that is given here is 2 drops of German chamomile, 3 drops of helichrysum, 10 drops of orange, and 5 drops of rosemary. And then the gallbladder blend that's mentioned to go with it is 2 drops of Roman chamomile, 2 drops of German chamomile. So these are all specifically, these can be put on a compress over the liver a couple times a day. Vitaflexed on the point on the foot. So this point right here. So you can use these oils, blend it in one bottle. Like if you have an empty bottle of German chamomile or helichrysum or orange or rosemary, just take that and then add all the other oils to it and label it as your liver blend. And then you can apply that to your different points. For hepatitis, it's mentioned here. You can have it's some of the exact same oils, your ledum, celery seed, ravensara, German chamomile, thyme, and clove. Those can be put in, again, the same type of application methods. Um, of course, Gary, also we know that we have vitality oils. You could put them in capsules as well. That's just really up to you and your preference of how you'd like to get them. Personally, you want to look at the type of result that you want is what you want to like if you want something pretty fast, you get it into your blood system. That's going to be that's going to be the one of the quickest ways. But you also might, when it goes through your digestive tract, it also can create more detox symptoms like being in the bathroom more, if that makes sense. So putting it on topically can get you some pretty quick relief, but getting to the root of the issue, that's something you're going to want to do with your supplements and taking oils internally at a pretty consistent base. So the liver blend, if you want to make your own liver blend, this is going to be similar to probably what Gary had designed for GLF. But this, again, he's making this suggestions, this liver blend. This is going to support your liver and your lymphatic system. So get you an empty bottle and add 30 drops of Roman chamomile, 20 drops of ledum, 10 drops of carrot seed, and 10 drops of celery seed, and 8 drops of Roman chamomile. He also says that this blend helps break addictions to substances such as coffee, alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. Let's talk a little bit about the different oils, the single oils that are in here. Roman chamomile can be calming and relieve restlessness, tension, insomnia, and muscle tension. Chamomile helps heal cuts, scrapes, and bruises and is an anti-infectious. It may relieve allergies and expel toxins from the liver. It's used extensively in Europe for skincare. Ledum, mentioned that one a little bit more earlier, is anti-inflammatory, anti-tumoral, antibacterial, diuretic. It's a hepatic protectant, which means anything hepatic is going to be liver related. So it's a decongestant. Ledum is strongly aromatic and has been used for centuries in folk medicine. The native people of Eastern Canada used it for tea as a general tonic and to treat a variety of also kidney related problems. It's helped protect the native people of North America against scurvy for thousands of years, and the Cree Indians used it for fevers and colds. Carrot seed is widely used in European folk medicine for treatment of jaundice and hepatic disorders. It has a tonic action on the liver and gallbladder. German chamomile has been highly respected for over 5,000 years and has been used for helping skin conditions such as dermatitis, boils, acne, rashes, and eczema. It's also used for hair care, burns, cuts, toothaches, teething pains, inflamed joints, menopausal problems, insomnia, migraine headaches, and stress-related complaints. Celery seed oil is traditionally used for arthritis and muscle spasm. With antibacterial and diuretic properties, celery seed oil has been used to help flush bacteria and minerals that can cause kidney and bladder stones. Lab animal studies have shown that celery seed prevents liver damage caused from toxic chemicals. They recommend not using it if you are pregnant. So the liver blend is fantastic. The glandular blend, I'm going to read that one to you as well. The glandular blend. Again, this book is fantastic because it has little breakdowns of the individual blends that you can make. Some of those are going to be listed in the essential oil desk reference, but these are a lot of the blends that Gary created originally, some of his original, the starts of his original recipes for some of the blends. So the glandular blend helps with overall vitality. It's associated with hormonal balance, improving and balancing metabolism and weight control, and can help alleviate hot flashes. So in one bottle, you combine 40 drops of spearmint, 30 drops of myrtle, 30 drops of fleabane, which Canadian fleabane is available. Let me see if it's still available. I know at convention a lot of times you can get it. Yeah, you can get it right now. Canadian Flea Bane. And it's available also. You can redeem points for it. So there you go. 10 drops of sage, 8 drops of geranium, and 5 drops of nutmeg. And that's again for your glands. So that's a good place to start as well. So a lot of those oils are things that you might already have that you didn't know what to use them for. So they're sitting on your counter and it's something that you can stop and go, hey, I got that as a freebie. I'm going to use that one. Okay. Um, so those are the main things we were going to talk about tonight. I want to read to you from Nutrition 101, talking about, for those of you who aren't familiar with Nutrition 101, this is a book that I co-authored with Deborah Rayburn, Sarah Johnson, and Karen Hopkins. Oh goodness, we're closing in on, it's been like 18 years. It'll be 20 years pretty soon. It's a couple years after we started using Young Living. And so, one of the important things that we talk about, as you guys know, who've listened to me talk about this book before, it breaks your body systems down into different units. So this unit is where we have the liver and the gallbladder covered, is included with digestion, but it's also covered in the back when we talk about the endocrine system and your glandular system. But the liver and gallbladder, when we're talking about foods for that, we really a lot of times focus on raw, fresh fruits and vegetables, just because you need those enzymes. You want to give, I know a lot of people with keto, that's a harder thing to do because they try to avoid carbohydrates, but the complex carbohydrates, you can do that. And I've seen there's a very popular liver cleanse, there's a book called The Liver Medium, and they use a lot of celery juice. So it's like celery juice first thing you wake up in the morning. And celery is something that you can juice pretty easily. It makes a good juice. It does leave quite a bit of pulp, but you get fairly bit amount of juice from celery. And that's a good one to start with. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables in that. And it's about 9 days of eating fresh raw living fruits and vegetables. The Daniel fast is another one I think I might have mentioned earlier that is focusing on like what Daniel from the Bible, whenever he was being told that he had to bow, they had to eat the king's foods, and he just said, no, we are going to, the men of the Hebrew men, his little posse, so to speak, they were going to eat the fruit and vegetables and the things that were making them healthy and that were giving them strength and energy. So that's what the Daniel fast is to do. But for those of you who are just like, I don't even know where to start with just take out all processed foods. So anything that's not grown or raised by a farmer. So fresh whole foods, your meats, avoid a lot of heavy grains and processed foods. So, snacky foods, chips and crackers and all of that, just cut that out for a while, if that's something you struggle with, and focus on doing fresh fruits and vegetables. If you need a crunch, you can dehydrate apples, or banana chips are great for that. Just don't get the ones at the store that have added sugar. But there's a lot of fun things you can do. And what I found is this time of year, I love doing more food prep because there's more. Go to the farmer's market or connect with a local farmer that you can get food from directly, and you can get creative with it. But it's a lot more fun whenever you're being intentional with your food and teaching your family how to make better choices as well. Choose life. That's what it's called, Nutrition 101, choose life. Because God told us he set before us life and death, blessings and curses, therefore choose life. So we want to make the choices that bring life. So everything that we talked about tonight, everything in this book, the Ultimate Balance book, is to bring life, to bring healing, to bring wholeness to your body. And so, as we start into the spring, focusing on gallbladder and the liver, I hope that this has been encouraging for you, and you know where to start now. And I'm going to open it up for questions, but I really feel like learning now a little bit um, about your endocrine system and your liver as you're going through just a little bit of a time. You're going to see how many other organs and glands really do depend on it as well. So making sure that you're taking care of it is kind of a starting point. And just using your whole body cleanse, using your liver tone is a great way to start as well. And just getting more fresh fruits and vegetables into your diet. Okay, Lana said, is there a specific page? Yeah, there's a specific page in that book for those blends that can be made. Actually, you're talking about this book. Okay, so in this book, it's broken down. As you can see, there's different chapters of the book. And so I looked up, originally I was going into just the area that was talking about the liver. But if you look, there is a section that is all the blends. So that starts on page 163, and you can just go through. So it's interesting because you'll look through them and you'll see, like, here's the anti-aging blend that they have, and it's 20 drops of thyme, 10 drops of mandarin orange, and 7 drops of clove. What does that sound like? What blend do we have? You'd have to add frankincense, but that sounds like longevity. So longevity oil comes in a capsule, or it comes in a blend. So it's very powerful antioxidants, can be taken as a dietary supplement for longevity and premature aging. So there you go. Very cool. I like to look at all these different books, cross-reference them, use them together, use them, individually for these classes, because it's not just one silver bullet. There's several things that we do, and definitely making those choices in all areas of our life, and especially keeping our emotions in check, working on things and going, okay, this is an area I personally know, whenever I start intentionally saying, okay, I'm going to stop. I feel the feeling rising up in me, feeling the emotion and having to stop, and then just breathe and count to 10, do something that trains my body to stop storing that feeling, or letting that feeling be in charge rather than myself being in charge of my emotions. So that's a good starting point, and our oils can help us do that. So you should proactively just apply those oils over yourself. Your forgiveness, your transformation oil. Transformation is one of my absolute favorite blends. It smells fantastic. And so I will a lot of times anoint myself with that one, especially if I know it's going to be a little bit more of a hectic day. There's a lot more opportunities for big emotions to arise. I can apply it over myself, and it helps me to be mindful. So we can be proactive. The more proactive we are in our health, better, because then we're not having to do things on the fly when we're tired, when we're stressed out, when we already had everything, burdens to be loaded on us. So I just want to encourage you guys tonight that you're very capable of bringing healing and wholeness to your body. So blends, oils, and amounts again. Okay, for which blend? For the liver blend? Marlene? Both the liver and the gallbladder, or the liver and the glands? All of them? Okay. All right, I'm going to do the liver blend first. So it's 30 drops of Roman chamomile, 20 drops of ledum, 10 drops of carrot seed, 10 drops of celery seed, and 8 drops of German chamomile. Okay. Do you want the glandular blend? Okay, that's 40 drops of spearmint, 30 drops of myrtle, 30 drops of fleabane, which are Canadian fleabane is what it's called on our website, 10 drops of sage, 8 drops of geranium, 5 drops of nutmeg. Do you guys know sage is an oil that if you look in the back of your desk reference, the pocket reference, it has like what oil is good for which body system and all that. Sage is oil that checks every box, every body system. All right, and then the last one was, did I do one more? Oh, I think I was just reading the anti-aging blend too because I was saying it was like longevity. Okay. There is a gallbladder. No, there's not a gallbladder. Let's see. What did I see here? This is really a fun book. It's a really cool book. The liver blend, the digestive blend, the glandular blend, which you guys probably have the immune blend. So like, what do you think those are? um, the liver, digestive, and glandular. Do you want the digestive one too? I gave you the liver and the glandular, which the digestive one is going to be Digize. So there you go. So it's Digize, and the recipe for that one is 30 drops of anise, 25 drops of rosemary, 10 drops of tarragon, 8 drops ginger, 8 drops fennel, which is all I smell when I smell Digize, and 3 drops of blue tansy. Let me see here. In Digize, it actually has all of those oils, but it also has peppermint, juniper, and lemongrass and patchouli. And that's one thing is Young Living doesn't have anise oil separately. So that's why Digize is kind of special. We do get, they would have to have anise. They have some oils that they have in small quantities that they don't have as single oils because they use them for blends. But they don't sell those because they need them specifically for blends, and they don't produce enough to sell them for blends or for single oils because they need them for blends. So that's that one. But this is it's a really cool book. If you were, if you ever find them, every now and then you find somebody that's that has one. So, and then what does Tammy posted a picture? I'm going to try to open it here. Gallstones. Oh yeah, that's your gallbladder blend. There you go. It's under gallstones. So very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tammy. And these books are just so full of information. So you could sit here and just read them. Very, very helpful. So gallstones, yeah, page 366. That's going to be, she posted the picture there. You can download the picture if you want to in the chat. But for the people watching the video, I'm going to read it. It is the gallbladder blend is 2 drops of ledum, 1 drop of Roman chamomile, 1 drop of lavender, 1 drop of rosemary, 1 drop of geranium, and 1 drop of juniper. I believe that would probably be similar to GLF. Let's look real quick and see what's in GLF. GLF has grapefruit, ledum, helichrysum, celery seed, hyssop, and spearmint. Ooh, hyssop. Hyssop. We know hyssop is fantastic for addictions. Okay. Oh, good information. So good. I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. Next week is going to be about essential oils and babies. I'm going to talk about using oils with little guys and little people, and it's going to be a good class. So if you have people that are wanting to learn more about oils with babies or oils with children, then invite them. I'm going to be talking a lot about gentle babies and my own experiences with when my daughter was 4 months old, she's going to be 20 this summer. And I've been putting oils on her whole life, and she survived. So, all right, friends. She's not just survived, she's thriving. She's thriving. And she's going to play in the NCAA tournament this week. Woo. All right. That's my plug from Proud Mama moment. So, you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.